Wendy is in Houston, Texas. Hey, Wendy, how are you?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much for everything that you do and teach and for taking my call. I'm so excited.
No troubles. How can I help?
So I have a question. My husband and I are on baby step 2, but I'm considering kind of breaking the rules and going out of order, but I think it actually makes sense in our case. We've been married about 13 years. We have 3 kids. We live in a house that we owe about $91,000 on still, and it's worth a fair amount more than that. And the only debt that we have left is a student loan that we acquired when, after 15 years of being an elementary school teacher, I decided I wanted to be a doctor. So I did the very normal thing and took out student loans, and we did that for 9 years, made it through, and finished. Graduated med school in 2014 and then finished residency last July in 2017. By the time I came out of residency, we had about $230,000 in the student loans at 6%. So we've been paying those off with somewhat gazelle-like intensity, not quite all the way there. Paying those off at this point today, they're at $168,000. And so I'm paying that off, but I met with my CPA, and he is recommending that we max out our STEP contributions, and he is saying that if we put $61,000 into the STEP this year, that'll actually decrease our taxable income enough that we get a $21,000 tax savings.
Mm-hmm. What's your household income?
My gross so far this year is $316,000. I'm a 1099 employee, and this is my actual first year from January to December where I'm working as an ER doctor. Mm-hmm. And so I don't, it's a little odd because they just give me
let me
all
just
the
tell
money
you,
and
for you to do anything other than take $168,000 in the coming 12 months and pay that debt off is asinine.
Okay.
Your CPA ought to have his butt kicked up around his neck. That's asinine. You make $300,000 a year. You used to make nothing. And you have $168,000 and you've been messing around with and playing around with. It is time to get out of debt, Wendy. You're going to keep this around like it's a pet if you keep listening to this guy. Because he's normalized debt in his mind, and he's got it in his head that you need to play all these tax games. You need to get out of debt and then take all that money that you're making and go become wealthy. Then you can start putting stuff in SEPs. And no, you don't do this out of order. You need to smack this debt in the mouth, and you need to keep your lifestyle down and keep your investments at 0 and get this debt cleaned up. It's huge.
Okay.
You have a huge debt.
Yeah, we've gotten it down some and don't have anything else, and the cars are paid for, and all my friends are buying fancy cars and fancy houses.
Call the ambulance.
We're living in our 1,200 square feet and still driving our old Chevy. No, I don't mind it.
You make $300,000. Clean up your mess and then go act like you make $300,000. But right now you're a broke doctor. You do what you want to do, kiddo, but you call me. If I woke up in your shoes, I'd do that in a heartbeat. There is no way. You have not applied the intensity. You self-said that, and I'm saying 168 out of 300, you ought to be able to pull this off. I mean, really. And, then worry about moving up in house and then worry about your investing. No, do your baby steps in order because there's a reason. It lays a foundation in your life for you to be able to win for the next 10 years. What you're describing might be smart for the next 8 months, but not for the next 8 years. It's not. And you're setting yourself on a path to justify and rationalize keeping this around because you've been doing that. It's time to stop. This is the Dave Ramsey Show.